Hello traders. Happy Monday. Welcome back. Woo! I hope you guys are feeling good. We had one of the biggest profit days today. First day of the week, first day of the month. Even though we were trading with pretty small size overall, about $2,000 per trade, so nothing really too crazy. So in a second, if you guys were on the stream, I'll show you guys. And we did one last trade actually after the stream on ATD. That was kind of a cool little one, and you guys probably already know why I did it, because it fell into a very key zone, the exact zone where we did our first market open trade on it. Really good stuff to review today. Again, really took it simple. You know, I'm fasting right now. I'm in a 24-hour long fast so far. I was just a little bit tired today. It's Monday. I didn't find any good lead gappers at first. So I was like, you know, take it slow. I was very, very patient today. And when I saw the right setups, I got aggressive. And when I didn't see any good setups, I let them go. I even let really a lot of setups go today because I just wasn't really feeling 100% on a lot of stuff. So the fact that I let so much go today and use small position size, I'm kind of impressed and just happy that we had a pretty big profit day. I was really not expecting it. It was not really a goal of mine. All I wanted to do today was just have a few base hits and kind of get into the week right on the right foot. That was kind of my goal today, but I guess we got a little bit lucky, even though we oftentimes sold a little bit too soon. But it's all about constantly taking some really good base hits. Do a few of those and you'll be you do that every day, you're going to be a-okay. And plus I could have kept trading right now, but at one point, you're tired, you don't want to start FOMOing around, you don't want to get stuck in a flush. I think MARA, that one alone, I probably have a little bit of FOMO on, and HIHO, because both of those trades, I was calling out moves on them, I just didn't take them. Or sometimes I would take them, but then I was like, right idea, wrong timing. But yeah, overall, I think there's really good tickers to review today, and really good kind of setups and things to look for. I also want to review KODK and ADT for possible swing trades, because I think those are really, really looking good. I also want to give a big shout out to Stephen Becker. Thank you for calling out ADT in the chat room today. First thing, it was like at 8 a.m. or something like that. So that was really, really sweet. I was not looking at ADT at all. It's a large cap. It's a 6 point something billion company. And my scanner, I don't scan for stocks over 700 million market cap. So because I'd like to trade small cap gap and goes, that's usually what we're looking for. So the fact that, you brought that ticker to my attention because it was trading like a small cap today because it had a massive deal with Google, allowed me to be like, okay, this is looking good. It's trading like a small cap. Let's get aggressive. And that's another reason I'm thinking it could also be a good swing trade. So guys, ADT, I think I keep trying to say APT because that was a small cap we were trading like last week. So ADT, guys, that's what we're going to really focus on today. What are some upcoming trades maybe on it? And let's review why we traded it and what were some really good entries for today. Let's dive into the charts now. And guys, don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. If you're totally new, remember, we go live every morning at 9:15 to review the watch list, then trade the market open. Would love to see you there. Join the community. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go to the charts now. Woo-wee. All right, guys, welcome back. I gotta really stretch a little bit here. I'm ready to feast. I'm on a 24-hour long fast, and I'm about to break it in like an hour, and I'm ready to feast a little bit. So I'm trying to stay alive. If you guys can see this, we ended the stream about 10:20, and then you could tell I did, or no, 11:20. I did one more trade. About 20 minutes after the stream, we'll review as well. But it looks like we're going to end the day $639 profit. This is one of our bigger days, even though we're still using small size, except my last trade, I used bigger size. I only walked away with like a 1.5% profit. I don't know if you'd say accidentally. I placed two limit orders, both full-size limit orders, for roughly like $2,500 or like $2,400, and I didn't remove them in time. I was a little bit slow with removing them because it was a really good entry, and both of them instantly got filled on a flush. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess here we go. Here's my biggest position size. But a lot of trades that we did today were only about $1,500, and then we did a lot of $2,000 trades, and then I had that one trade just now a little bit over. So yeah, bigger position size, or no, not even like a normal position size day, but really, really waiting, being patient, getting aggressive on the good setups, that really paved the way today. So not too much to review today, but some, I think, really, really good lessons. And then I also want to talk about KODK. I want to talk about AAL as well, some swing trading ideas, maybe even Apple. We'll talk about some swing trades as well in this one. But very quickly, let's kind of go here, starting with ADT and actually Mara. I didn't trade this one, but I was just looking for an entry here at 377, was thinking, okay, well, this one has potential, but I don't think I'm going to trade Mara because there's huge sellers hidden in the order book. They keep appearing. I'm scared that there's some warrants ready to come out on this one. I'm just not going to trade Mara. I like the way that it's trading in general, though. I wanted to buy here. I didn't do it. Again, I wanted to buy here. I didn't do it. Both of these trades, I could have walked away with 3+%. And a big reason I didn't do it is I just didn't really trust this ticker, which happens. You know, if you don't trust the ticker, if you don't really fully understand it, it's okay. I understand MARA, why it's up now, because it's more of a crypto trend. I didn't really understand that before because I didn't see that there was a catalyst on it, so I was confused. But that's why the chat room is so great, because we can all learn from each other. But at the same time, don't force a trade you don't understand. I think that's really, really important. So let's go back here. ADT, this is our biggest winner on the day. I think we're up over $500 on ADT. Yeah, no, $476. This one pre-market, I was not looking at. It was not on my scanners because my scanners do not scan for stocks over 700 million float. So I'm only trading small caps. I mean, not float, 700 million market cap. So I'm only trading small caps. So that's why when I saw ADT, or I didn't see ADT in the chat room, big shout out to Stephen Becker. You called out ADT. You said, wow, look at this thing run. I was like, what's going on with ADT? And I looked at it and I was like, ooh, I really like what I'm seeing here as well. So if you didn't shout it out, I would have never been looking at ADT. So man, again, thank you for that. Yeah, this thing was kind of pulling off though quite aggressively, 30%, but I did notice that we had a flat top breakout pre-market right here at about 13.5. So I knew that 13.5, 13.6, 13.7 is going to be huge support. And this thing was having a hard time pulling back further and was constantly finding support on this one. And ADT has a huge partnership deal with Google. Google actually bought a 6.6 stake in ADT. And ADT, and it's because, well, actually, I don't really know why it's because, but I assume, I'm thinking it's because the smart home trend that I would say started in, like, I don't know, the 90s is getting really hot again. And Apple has their kind of smart home. I forgot what it's called. They have some sort of smart. Let me quickly look it up. My friend was just writing me about it. Might as well kind of put it, document it so we always remember. Here we go. Apple has HomeKit. So HomeKit is Apple's smart home. And then ADT, now with Google, ADT is in the household of millions of Americans. I'm not sure the exact number, but I know growing up, you always saw that blue thing sticking in front of a lot of people's houses. And I would assume that a lot of these people, they put value in security, they put value in technology, kind of combined together. That is a huge foot in the door for Google to expand their home office thing. So this is, or not home office, their smart house clientele and infrastructure. So I think this is a great partnership. It makes a lot of sense. And I had huge conviction behind ADT that it would continue a move in the market open. And I also knew that this thing, a $6.6 billion company, I'm not too scared of it having a giant flush. And actually right now it is kind of pulling off again here a little bit. I'm not going to lie, it's quite tempting to trade this. If it goes below 13.4, I think I might even jump on a quick little dirty in here. So let's keep an eye on for this area. Because we know that there's huge support here roughly at 13. So let's see what happens. First trade on it was a quick dip trade here. This was almost a perfect entry, perfect exit. It doesn't really matter that it's a perfect entry, perfect exit, but it doesn't happen a lot. So sometimes I like to look at it and just drool a little bit. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your trade is a perfect entry, perfect exit. Almost none of my trades are because I don't care about that. I don't look for it. It's just when it happens, it's kind of a nice thing. It's like, oh, cool. This time it actually worked out. Then I took I think a small loss on this trade. Yeah, I took a small loss here, was up about 2-3% on it. but I was waiting for just a little bit bigger of a move back above 14.4, didn't get it, and I closed this one for a small loss. And then here is really where I got aggressive. At the market open, we pulled lower again under this $14 zone with huge support. I jumped on this trade like there was no tomorrow, and then I rode it pretty much all the way till VWAP. We actually broke VWAP like right after I sold. I sold on this candle, literally. Yeah, you can see I sold here at 883. It broke VWAP, got halted, and then continued running up. So I left a lot of money on the table, but that's not what it's about. It's not about leaving money on the table. It's just about taking profits off the table when you have them. Because when this thing was halted, I was like, uh-oh, maybe this thing, some bad news is going to come out. But it was just actually some news about their debt, which actually didn't sound bad at all. This came out at 922. And then there was something else, but whatever, it's not important. Yeah, you want to reduce your market exposure risk. And every second you're in the market, you're subject to, tweets going shooting around from the president. You're subjected to, holds, to news coming out. And especially with small caps, it's very, very dangerous. So get in and get out. Had another ADT kind of support line bounce here. This was a very quick trade. And then the one I just traded was this crack of support. I bought down here, and this is where I traded with 400 shares. So this was actually a really, really strong for HIHO. This might have even been over a $5,000 position size. Crazy. Yeah, so this is a pretty big size for me on the unlimited account at least. So yeah, kind of exciting stuff here. I mean, that's ADT in a nutshell. We just, I wasn't really trying to get overly aggressive in any of these areas. I mean, this pullback here was almost picture perfect now that I look back at it. I should have probably kept on trading ADT, should have looked for a few more setups. I mean, this thing was just rocking left and right, but I felt so comfortable with the profits I had, and I felt like if I started trading more aggressively, something bad would have happened. So I was just like, you know what, today's my biggest profit day. Maybe I could make $1,000 out of it. Who knows? But I'm just gonna lock in those profits and be back tomorrow with a fresh mind and be ready to go. There's no reason to overtrade. And that's what I felt like I would have maybe started doing at one point. So pretty happy to lock it in. CBAY, our next ticker. This was a quick, just a very quick one. 68 million float, US biotech with positive news on one of their studies that they came out with. I didn't like CBAY really per se because it had this really tough resistance here at 4.5 we talked about several times, and I was like, I'm probably just not going to trade it. But it was kind of slowly going towards $4, and that's when I put a limit order at $4, got a nice little buy at 403, and then we popped higher here, 5% move or so, took my profits and moved on. I could have done bigger size on this, kind of wish I did like $2,000, then this would have been, probably over $100 trade. Again, looking back at it, it's like, yeah, I sold way too quickly, but I also sold at like a really nice high here, and you just don't know if this is going to continue. I mean, like this time it continued, and ADT continued, but oftentimes they don't continue. Oftentimes I'll be up 5%, and before you know it, especially in the beginning when I held trades too long, I would close for a loss. And that's the worst. So I'd rather take my 5%, boom, 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 over and over again, than hold for that potential over 10% trade, because oftentimes more than not you'll be closing for a loss. So that's why I take my profits quickly. I know some of you guys always call me out for it, but whatever, it is what it is. Everyone has a different trading style, so if it works for you, great. It doesn't work for me that well. I could work on averaging out of my trades though. I gotta say, like, you guys are oftentimes very right. I don't average out of my trades as good as I should, but more for me to learn. So AIHS, this is another ticker that we similar situation. 11 million flow, Chinese credit card service company, EV partner, signed strategic partnership with a large auto business. All sounds very good and gravy, but again, I've been having a lot of issues with these Chinese credit card companies and Chinese education companies. I've been fumbling left and right. But the reason I actually entered this one is because around 0.8 we had tremendous support and resistance, and guess what happens? This thing, slowly goes towards 0.8. In pre-market, I actually messed up on a trade here as well. Good thing I cut my losses because it went down about 6% right away after I cut my losses. And then, this one, I just had a limit order at 0.8. We got the entry. I tried to exit all my position at 0.84, but I actually put in the wrong quantity of shares. Just such a ridiculous mistake. And I only sold like 700 shares, and then I sold the rest, 1,300 in this area at 83. So I definitely left some profits on the table, which is a little bit unfortunate, kind of for no reason. And actually this thing even goes to 85. So oh well, whatever. It is what it is. I was able to walk away with a nice little $50 there with not too much work. So that was kind of nice. HIHO, let's go to this one. HIHO. This was another lead gapper on the day, 2 million float. This was one of our top lead gappers, Hong Kong medical fabrications company with a Q1 report, $600,000 in the positive versus $600,000 in the negative for the previous year quarter. So it actually is really, really good catalyst. Shows this company is really trying. I traded this one, kind of aggressively pre-market. I basically started the day off like down $30 on this one. It just wasn't working for me. This one was tough. It was down 47%, just not really what you want to see on a company pre-market on a lead gapper. So I was kind of weary about trading this one, but I knew since this thing was selling off so much pre-market that maybe around $4 is going to have some nice support. It pulls down here to 410, pulls down a little bit lower. I get aggressive here for a $1,600 on size, not really that much. Again, I should have done like $2,000-$3,000 on size, so really doubled it up on this one because, big support here right on the open. Runs up about 20%, so it could have been a phenomenal trade. I took profits a little, kind of quickly on this one. But at the same time, I did let it ride a little bit above the 9-minute EMA. Usually I don't do that, so... This is the trade that kind of annoys me right here on HIHO. We came back to support 3.3, massive multi-month support and resistance zone, pulling off about 50-something% from the pre-market highs, 57%. That's a huge turnaround zone, and I was looking for that turnaround. I kept on being too aggressive in this area, and then actually sold here almost as we were selling off at the perfect low, and then it, finally had that reversal I was looking for. It goes up 12-13% without me. So this, I gave back like $60 on this trade. Doesn't look that bad, but I gave back kind of a lot on this trade, which sucks because it's like I was right, but my timing was off. So that was really annoying on HIHO. But these I've been getting skunked on these reversals a lot, and it's horrible because I've been getting skunked to the point where it's like I'll trade it 2-3 times, and then I'm like, you know what? It's not going to do it. And then literally the candle I sell on is the candle that is the reversal. So again, that happened today. Well, actually, you could probably argue that maybe this candle was the low, but you get the point. I like sell right before the reversal, which is so annoying, but it is what it is. Look at MARA. I got to say, I really dropped the ball on this one. I was way too biased on it, but oftentimes being biased on a ticker isn't the end of the world because there's usually a reason you're biased, and oftentimes you want to manage your risk, and sometimes there's tickers that are just harder to manage risk on. So again, I wanted to buy here, left some profits on the table. Buying on the way back up here at 381 would actually been a phenomenal trade. And honestly, here, this quick pullback to 390 could be a phenomenal trade as well. So many good opportunities. This thing's breaking past some giant resistance at $4. It's also a lead gapper. $358 million volume. That's huge. Lead small cap gapper right now with a pretty decent, kind of riding that Bitcoin trend at the moment. So it's hot. It's really hot. They have like an order of 700, miners. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to let this one slide, which I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of killing me a little bit because it sucks. Like when you see a ticker, you kind of call out two moves. They both happen. You don't trade either one of them. So I feel like at this point, if I traded it, it'd probably fall off a cliff or get warrants, and then I'd be so upset with myself. I would rather just wrap up the day, take my $600+ profit, and kind of be with it. If anything, I'd probably trade ADT, not ADP, one more time. If anything, actually look at this. So found a nice little double bottom here, 13.4, and then ripped higher again. So I could have been trading this one just all day till 12. It makes me think I should keep trading it. I don't know. We'll see what we do. But for now, I'm pretty happy where we're at. Let me quickly switch here to the challenge account, because one real quick thing I want to talk about as well is AAL, guys. I am down on this trade. It's our swing trade. I was looking for that reversal from 11. I was buying the 11.5s, and today we actually hit like 10 point something, 10.7 or something. So I'm down about 6% or so from my entry, which is getting close to like my 8-10% stop for my swing. So I don't really like to see that. If we break 10, I'm going to be stopping out of this one, which I got to say is quite painful, but it is what it is. Airlines, they're a risky play. And I was looking for that break of 12, which we, touched multiple times. And I think that's why I'm a little bummed with AAL, because I was up like 5% so many times. First entry, I was up 5%. In this area, I was up like 7, 8%. Multiple times here, I'm up 5%. And then, I could have done this trade like 12 times. And I think that's the part I'm like kind of upset with myself a little bit. I would have loved taking some profits in on this one, and then just being like, what, if it comes back to 11.5, boom, I'll take it. If it doesn't, I won't. What I'm actually kind of still bullish on this one for, and I would average down, but I'm already max position size on this one, unfortunately, for my swing account, is the fact that the selling volume here is so light. So yeah, we cracked 11, but the selling volume is so light that it doesn't really warrant me to want to get out this trade. Now, if the selling volume was big, it was wicked, and this thing was falling off a cliff, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to get out on any sort of bounce. So that's what's making me a little bit more cautious. Not to mention, earnings came out not too long ago. They were horrible. The earnings were a disaster. They're actually worse than estimates, but it actually went up. It kind of shows that I think AAL is a bit overextended to the downside, and even though it could keep selling off, it's already sold off a lot, and I feel like anyone in this area is just gonna hold on till the bottom. They're gonna sink with the ship. I might be totally wrong, but I feel like that's kind of the attitude it kind of feels like right now. So that's what made me a little bit more cautious on my AAL position. KODK, another trade that I might actually consider taking. It was a former runner that you guys are aware of. Nothing new here on KODK, but I gotta say, look at this decreased sell volume. This is looking actually kind of interesting in this area. If we go to the 4-hour KODK, quite a little dipsky ripsky here, but this could actually start seeing some tremendous support here in the $15 zone. It's just tough to say because even if it finds support in 15 but then pulls back a little bit lower, you're still risking so much capital on this one. It's hard to manage your risk on this one. Like with AAL, it's much easier to manage your risk. On KODK, it's very, very tough. So I don't know. Maybe I'll think about trading KODK. It was up on that huge news with the government, so I could see this one being quite a nice trade as well. But the sell-off was just so strong. But we have these multi-month support and resistance zone around 16. So I probably would consider trading it in this area. So just to kind of stay true to my word, I'll put a limit order out. Again, I'm not totally sure where I would want to trade it. We do know, I'm sorry for all these lines here, they made a lot more sense before the price went exponential. But we know that 17 is huge support. We know that right below in the 16s, it's multi-month support and resistance. Let me quickly zoom in here. Right now, we're really having issues breaking below the $17 zone. So I think of like 16.5 or something. I would probably even consider starting to trade this one, building a size on it. I'd probably trade this one very, very quickly. Let's go to the 4-hour as well. And this is a pure technicals trade, but basically, we're still moving under the 9-minute EMA, a lot of resistance there. Just kind of like, it's tough to say, but I would really argue that in the $16 zone, we have this kind of really key area. Once we broke out of that, we went exponential. So I would like to see some sort of setup here on that. And I don't know, that might be what I'm looking for. Let me quickly go to the hourly, see how this is doing. I gotta say, it's quite tempting to want to trade this one. It's a little bit difficult on kind of deciding where you'd want to maybe put a position size. But right now, we're really, really close to this big support zone. So I think at roughly 16, oh, look at this thing. It's kind of making our mind up for us. So I'll keep a watch on this one. Let me see how much buying power I actually have available. I don't even think I have any buying power on this account. So I'll have to move money around. But yeah, you can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to probably enter KODK. I'm actually going to just put like 10 shares out. So when these get triggered, I'll know that I'm live on this one, and then I have to reassess it. So I'm just going to put these kind of here for now. And then let's see what happens. And I'll probably start, trying to buy more and more into the 16s as we approach the 16s. So that's kind of like my current strategy. So 16 to 15, we have huge support on this one. There's one more thing I want to talk about. So we talked about AEL, we talked about KODK, ADT, that was a phenomenal one. And honestly, ADT is another ticker that actually might be a phenomenal swing trade. So maybe I would actually like to trade it in around 13 with this account as well, my challenge account. So these are all possible swing trades, I think, because they're kind of large caps, and that's what I'm really looking for this. AAPL, very quickly, I know is being asked in the chat room, am I going to trade it? What I think about it? I think AAPL is probably a phenomenal investment. I just, hard to manage your risk here at 450. I would probably look for a bigger pullback. I've been saying about every time about AAPL, and I constantly miss it. So it's probably not even the best ticker for me to talk about because I'm constantly missing the dip buys on this one. Honestly, if this thing ever pulls back more than 5-10%, especially on like, a 2 or 3 week basis, or something like this, or even like this, just start buying it and hold it long term. I don't know. Up to you guys, but AAL has constantly outperformed, and I keep missing my entries on AAPL, so it is what it is. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up there. So much to talk about. I could just keep rambling forever. Just so many good stuff. KODK. I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to watch this one very, very closely. Maybe we can get an entry on it. It would be sweet. But yeah, guys, that's everything for this video. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning to go live, review the watch list, trade the market open. Woo! I will see you guys then. So like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.